Today we're going to talk about PACE. How can you finance some improvements on your property without obtaining a real loan? I'm Hector and this is Walter. We're with Weichert Realtors Exclusive Properties. So we're going to go ahead and go through a complete list of the do's and don'ts and how you obtain funding for these items. Well, join us in this segment. We're going to talk about how you incorporate these items into your property taxes.
Roof, windows, doors, air conditioner, and generators.
While no money down or credit check is required, there are 4 key attributes that you need in order to obtain this financing. Number 1, all property taxes have to be current and could not have been delinquent for the past 3 years. Number 2, you're current on all your mortgages on the property. Number 3, you have had no notices of default in the last 3 years. And number 4, no involuntary liens on the property.
And here's the easy requirements. No money down is required. No credit checks are required. All property tax have been paid and not delinquent within the last 3 years. No voluntary liens, no notice of defaults within the last 3 preceding years. Current on all mortgage debt on the property. So Hector, is there an interest rate that is required by the PACE program?
Great question, Walter. So technically, yes, there is. The interest rate ranges between 6 to about 12.99%. Now, this interest rate is typically lower than any credit card rate. And remember, it's paid with your property tax bill. And also remember that you do not need to apply or qualify as long as you're not in default on the property or are currently under bankruptcy.
So Hector, how long is the financing for?
Great question. So when you're using PACE financing, the financing cannot exceed the useful life of the product. So for example, if an AC is technically good for about 10 years, that means that portion of your PACE program is only good for 10 years. If the roof is a 30-year roof, then that portion can only be financed for 30 years, or actually that's a really long time. So it can be financed for up to 30 years. Water heater would likely be about 10 years, so on and so forth.
Is there a penalty to pay off my PACE assessment?
Great question. There's actually, on the residential side, no prepayment penalty. There will be a portal where you can look at your balance at any time. Now, if you go to sell the property, there are 2 options. A cash buyer can inherit your PACE loan, so that's option number 1. A buyer who is financing, typically it would need to be paid off at closing because that lender is going to want to take first lien position. Remember, a PACE loan does file a lien against the property, although they will be in 2nd or 3rd place depending on how many loans you have on the property. A lender is going to require that to be paid off cash. They can inherit that debt.
It's great information. So in summary, the PACE program is designed to make your home more energy efficient.
And remember, this is without credit checks, no need to actually qualify for a second mortgage. You don't have to have a specific amount of equity. It's paid with your property tax bill. And remember, these items include windows, doors, HVAC, solar panels, generator, and of course a roof. So again, you don't need any separate financing when you have the ability to add it onto your property taxes, and you could potentially sell the property with that as long as it's a cash buyer, or you would just pay it off with your closing proceeds. So thank you very much for watching Yellow Chair Chat. We hope you found this segment very helpful and useful for your particular needs.
Our contact information is below.
We'll see you next week.